They start off bantering playfully about the gladiator outfits they had to wear back during their battle in Mongul's pit. Bruce guesses that if Diana couldn't be Wonder Woman, she'd make a great National Parks Historic Sites tour guide to share beauty and humility with others. Diana takes a crack at Bruce, deciding he'd be a doctor, or a bat doctor, which makes Lois laughingly declare that Tim is fired for suggesting this game. Bruce turns to Clark and deadpans that Clark would be president of the United States. Clark dismisses it, insisting he doesn't have the political drive for that, and has no idea what he'd be if he wasn't a hero or a reporter. The setting is an eerie, microscopic realm inside a white hole that took 11 billion years to construct, yet exists in the blink of an eye. 32 surviving heroes and villains, including Superman, Lobo, Wonder Woman, and Batman, are instantly teleported in from the first gauntlet without a moment of rest. A sinister figure speaking as the heart of Apocalypse welcomes the champions to their second challenge. He explains that just as Darkseid had to drain power from primordial gods to become King Omega, each remaining contestant must now claim power by defeating their fellow champions. Hidden across the ruins are 16 powerful artifacts, including the Blue Beetle Scarab, Godkiller Sword, Mother Box, Speed Force Ring, Power Rings, Lasso of Truth, Thor's Hammer, and one mystery item. With 32 contestants and only 16 items available, anyone holding an artifact when all items are claimed moves on to the next round. Everyone else dies. Half of the roster will be eliminated, and the Game Master encourages total ruthless behavior, promising rewards for anyone who follows Darkseid's brutal example, before officially starting the round. Some heroes naturally sense their tied relics, like Hawkman sensing the Claw of Horus, but Lex Luthor uses his suit's advanced satellite scanners to map the arena instantly and rocket toward the power rings. Clark zeroes in on Lex, resolved that his main purpose in this game is to ensure the villains, especially Lex, fail. As he chases Lex down, Superman fires heat vision to slow down other villains along the way before catching up to Luthor, grabbing him and violently hurling him through a giant stone skull. Wonder Woman fights Etrigan the Demon, shutting down his rhyming threat by punching him hard into the ground and telling him to go to hell. As Diana looks around for the belt, Giganta, having already claimed it to grow to massive proportions, confronts Wonder Woman, declaring there's only room for one big girl in this challenge. Before they can settle it, a colossal shadow falls over Giganta, and a voice from above mocks her size, catching her completely off guard. Giganta protests that they are on the same side as fellow villains, but Joker sarcastically acts like he forgot and brutally stomps her flat. Seeing the giant Joker instantly crush Giganta, Wonder Woman and Animal Man quickly flee out of his giant footsteps' way. Plastic Man O'Brien battles Metamorpho Rex Mason, wrapping him up in super plastic. However, Metamorpho counter-chemically transforms into boiling hot polyphenylene sulfide to break free. Before either can claim the Godkiller Sword, Jay Garrick zooms in and swipes it right out from under them. Guy Gardner finds the Speed Force ring resting on a rock, remarking that Poison Ivy will love it. Before he can grab it, Harley Quinn sneaks up from behind, knocks Guy unconscious with her oversized mallet, steals the ring, and begins trying it on. Coughing up blood, Lex thanks Clark for previously sending the villains to the Phantom Zone. He claims that floating in that void was a revelatory experience that changed his perspective on why he truly hates Superman. Lex activates an array of multicolored kryptonite variants built into his chest unit, including purple, black, and red, to weaken and stun Superman, boasting about expanding his collection. Lex admits his true hatred stems from believing Superman doesn't do enough for humanity. He then retaliates by blasting Superman through the landscape, aiming to make him experience the exact same feeling of being trapped in a void. Capitalizing on Superman's exposure to the multicolored kryptonite, Lex uses an energy-infused blade to slash across Clark's hand and wrist, causing him to scream in pain. As Superman reels back from the slash, a cold and victorious Lex looks down at him, finishing his thought by calling the attack a revelation in the form of a blade. Lex mentions that entering Apocalypse gave him a vision of a remade, perfected universe, curing diseases and eradicating corrupt governments, and accuses Superman of rejecting his own vision just to keep things as they were. Disgusted by Superman's refusal to reshape the world, Lex fires shards of green kryptonite directly into Clark's body to incapacitate him completely. Calling Superman a coward who refuses to save humanity from its wars and misery, Lex leaves Clark collapsed on the ground, departing to go save the world himself.
Guy Gardner recovers and zooms in on a construct, only to be intercepted by Man-Bat. Cyborg locates and activates the Mother Box, and Swamp Thing, Etrigan, and Orion battle for the Soul Taker sword. Lobo discovers Bane's venom apparatus, calling it his golden ticket. A Starro alien parasite ambushes Lobo from behind to steal the venom. Lobo presses the button anyway, pumps himself full of venom, and brutally rips the parasite in half before flexing his supercharged muscles.
Starro facehugs Power Girl, who holds the Psycho Pirate mask, Jay Garrick, Wonder Woman, and others, using them as puppets. Mind-controlled Power Girl attacks Supergirl. Mind-controlled Aquaman uses the Cosmic Rod to drain Firestorm's body water. Mind-controlled Jay Garrick stops Black Lightning from getting the Warlagog. Wonder Woman, controlled by Starro, attacks Zatanna. When Zatanna tries to cast a spell, Starro mocks her, noting that cosmic starfish are immune to magic.
Wonder Woman, still under Starro's mind control, grabs Thor's hammer and unleashes a massive bolt of divine lightning. The immense shockwave blows off all the Starro parasites controlling her, Jay Garrick, Lobo, and the other heroes. Nearby, Red Hood, Jason Todd, tries to claim the Blue Beetle Scarab, but gets cut off by Arsenal, Roy Harper, and XS. Red Hood pivots to confront the giant Joker, but the Joker activates Adam's belt to shrink himself down to subatomic size, vanishing into thin air and leaving his attackers confused.
Big Barda screams in agony as the Psycho Pirate mask manipulates her emotions, secretly controlled by the Joker poking around inside her head. Vixen races to claim the Genie Pen, but King Shark confronts her. Vixen taps into the Animal Kingdom powers of Dinosaur Island to summon a massive prehistoric shark spirit, swallowing King Shark whole. Etrigan casts a spell and binds a demon genie entity to his side. Zatanna wields the Godkiller sword, urging the remaining heroes to grab the final few items before time runs out.
Lex flies in to secure the set of colorful lantern power rings lying on the ground. Carol intercepts Lex, using her Star Sapphire powers to launch a massive construct of the entire Fortress of Solitude directly into him as payback for what he did to Superman. With Luthor knocked out of the way, Carol swoops down, slips on the rings, and claims them for herself.
As Carol Ferris pulls back from a claw attack, Lex reveals he managed to snatch the Black Power Ring, the exact one he was truly targeting. Carol dismisses the threat, asking what good a black ring is when there are no dead bodies around to reanimate and control. With a sinister grin, Lex crackles with dark energy and asks, "You sure about that?" hinting that the God Graveyard Arena is full of ancient corpses ready to be resurrected.
Supergirl tries to toss Superman the Psycho Pirate's mask so he has an artifact to survive the round, but Captain Atom intercepts it with an energy blast, stealing the mask for himself. As Captain Atom flies away, Clark stands up in pain and feels a massive vibration rumbling through the ground, realizing something terrible is about to happen.
Lex uses the Black Ring to reanimate the colossal skeletons of the slain Elder Gods, sending these giant undead monsters across the battlefield. One by one, Lex uses the undead gods to systematically crush and eliminate the remaining heroes, including Clark's closest friends, securing his victory in the challenge. Throughout the slaughter, Lex floats above the chaos, keeping his sinister gaze fixed directly on the helpless, wounded Superman. The page closes with a haunting memory echo of Lois Lane asking Clark what his answer would be to the game from the opening page.
When pressed by Lois for his actual choice, Clark rejects Bruce's suggestion of president, guessing instead that he'd probably be a fireman, someone focused simply on helping people. Bruce explains his reasoning, telling Clark that he's driven to do the absolute most good possible. He compares Clark's mindset to a math that currently works, but warns that if conditions ever change, a new strategy will be needed to succeed. As Lois and Diana playfully complain about the mood turning too serious, Clark agrees with Bruce's point, and Bruce hands Clark's Superman miniature back to him. Faced with certain defeat, Clark makes a radical tactical shift, echoing Bruce's advice about changing his math to survive a changed world. Remembering the game's rule to follow Darkseid's example of sacrifice, Clark reaches into his shoulder, rips out a shard of kryptonite, and uses it to violently end himself, right as Lex's undead giant brings its foot down to crush him, outsmarting Lex's ultimate victory. Reborn with glowing Omega energy, Superman easily decimates the resurrected Elder Gods, resolving to put an end to both Luthor and Joker.
A panicking Luthor realizes he has been outmaneuvered as Superman advances, ready to strike. Right before Clark can obliterate Lex, the arena announcer declares the challenge over as all items have been claimed. Lex quickly grabs a nearby artifact to qualify, and everyone without an item is instantly eliminated. Saved by the bell, Lex sneaks away with a smug smile, telling Clark he'll see him in the next round. The qualifying fighters featured are Joker, Etrigan, Jay Garrick, Superman, Hawkman, Lobo, Zatanna, Guy Gardner, Lex Luthor, Harley Quinn, Red Hood, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Captain Atom, Swamp Thing, and Cyborg. Driven by a taste for victory in the high-stakes competition, every remaining combatant senses how close they are to winning. The narration warns that while these 16 are preparing for the next phase, the game is far from over, and it isn't only being played in this arena.
Time Trapper and Booster Gold watch the arena from orbit. Time Trapper observes that the fire pits are burning with Omega energy and notes they may soon have a new King Omega to hold the line against Darkseid. Booster Gold interrupts, telling Time Trapper he's become soft in his old age and that there's no need for a new King Omega because they already have one, Darkseid himself. Speaking with Darkseid's ominous black and white speech bubbles, this corrupted Booster Gold snaps Time Trapper's neck, declaring it is finally time for him to enter the arena directly.